Coming up shortly on GIVNN, a news story on Egypt and Turkish revolutions, President Obama's visit to Africa, an exclusive human interest piece on immigration, some reports on the 4th of July parade, more on Brattleborough's weather, and some interesting sports stories from SIT and the US.
Good afternoon, this is GIVNN broadcasting on Channel 13 from SIT Graduate Institute in Brattleboro, Vermont. My name is Evan Holderness.
And I'm Gabriella Sigda.
And we're here to get you back up to speed on what's been going on in the world during our 10 days in isolation.
In world news, the Middle East has been seeing a rise in anti-governmental conflicts recently, perhaps suggesting the start of an Arab Spring Take Two. In seeming change of faith, thousands of protesters took to the streets of Egypt, denouncing the leadership of the country's recently elected President Mohamed Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Giving the president a 48-hour ultimatum to voluntarily step down, military chief Abdel Fattah al-Sisi threatened a coup d'etat. Morsi, not complacent to military orders, was forcibly removed from power, and civilians burnt the Brotherhood headquarters to the ground. Al-Sisi called for a temporary suspension of the constitution and the institution of a technocrat government. The Chief of Justice of Egypt's Supreme Constitutional Court, Adli Mansour, was sworn in Thursday as the nation's interim president. Supporters of the former president seems to be still on the streets, protesting, and there have been reports of military killing at least 3 civilians already.
Protests in Turkey also continue, even as tentative negotiations begin.
In the capital city of Ankara, police have arrested dozens of individuals accused of having links to terrorist organizations and attacking police forces during the 3 weeks of the uprising that swept throughout the nation. The demonstrations, which began in late May, came after a brutal and forceful eviction of a sitting in Istanbul's Taksim Gezi Park, protesting the park's demolition. Since then, the scope of the strikes and protests have drastically broadened, looking at issues of freedom of the press and the rights to assembly, the freedom of speech and the government's own secularism.
And now over to sports with Rodolfo.
Thank you, Evan. Now, New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez has formally been charged with murder of Boston area semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd, who was shot to death and whose corpse was found near Hernandez's Attleboro, Massachusetts home earlier in June. His motives remain unclear, but prosecutors said Hernandez orchestrated the killing because Lloyd talked to wrong people at a nightclub. An ammunition clip that matched the bullet casings found at the scene of the crime was later found in Hernandez's Hummer. And now, for local sports, I'll hand it over to Declan.
I'm Declan Burgess from GIVNN, and we're joined here with participants of the GIV Crazy Olympics 2013. So participants, tell us a little bit about your activities today.
It was dope! It was so sick! We were doing all the fun games. It was dope!
It was crazy.
I'm kind of like overly hydrated right now.
It's really nasty. We just had water.
Like a lot of water.
Like a gallon.
But it was
like
dope.
a lot of water.
But it was dope.
With participants from all over the world and all over the US here today.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ireland, of course, you know, God. Okay, so you had fun, guys?
Yeah!
Yeah, we had fun.
It was excellent.
The theme of Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games.
Nice touch.
Like, okay, there might be.
That's to the staff members. Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you, Rodolfo and Declan. And now over to Morgan, who is joined by Adam for an exclusive interview on the immigration policy in the United States.
Okay, my name is Morgan Gray. I'm from GIVNN, and I'm interviewing Adam about his standpoint on the immigration bill. So I have a couple questions for you, and the first question is, what is your background about this subject?
Sure. The way that it connects to me in my life is my father is from Mexico, and he is an immigrant that came to the United States. And a lot of his family followed him here actually as well. And me and my brothers and sisters and a lot of my cousins actually are first generation in his family to be born in the United States. So first generation Chicanos. And obviously I've known a lot of people who live in Mexico and who have moved here. So it's something that means a lot to me, and it's an issue that I care deeply about.
Okay. The next question is, do you think the House will pass the bill?
I think so. I don't think they can get away politically. They can't get away not passing it because we need to create pathways to citizenship because of what the immigrant population means to the way the United States even runs. The immigrant population is vital to the economy, is vital to the way things work. And the vote, as we've seen from the Latinos in America, is too strong for them to deny something like this, to deny creating pathways to citizenship and to basically deny people their rights of being here and finding a way to be permanent residents.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does. How do you think that with this new working force coming in, how it will affect teenagers and young people being able to get jobs and like how it'll affect the economy, so like money-wise?
Sure. I think it'll do great things for the economy. I mean, when you create pathways to citizenship and you stop thinking about people being illegal or illegal, and you have people who want to work, who want to contribute, and who are, excited and jumping at the opportunity to do that. I think it makes a huge difference and it can make a huge impact once we allow that to happen. Let them work with us. Allow them pathways to work legally in the United States. And I think obviously you're inviting more consumers in, you're having people who have an easier time buying houses, and creating, really generating, maybe not generating, but I think it can boost the economy because of all the different ways that people cannot contribute right now, they'll be able to. There's so many barriers for people to just like own a house, to buy things that make them a part of the economy, a permanent part of the economy. And when you allow a huge population to do that, I think that there's nothing but good that can come from that, if that makes sense.
The last one is, how do you think that the Department of Homeland Security and Border Control are gonna react to this? How do you think it'll affect their jobs?
I mean, the fact of the matter is that there's too many people who care about border security for it to become incomplete. I think that people are going to have jobs working on the borders regardless, that kind of thing. Homeland security is not going to be affected by it. People are going to be working those jobs regardless. And I think in terms of doing a job, if you're doing a job that's unhealthy for us as a nation, we need to create pathways for those people to do other work. That's not the only option, for people to be working that are in the southern states near the border. We need to create new pathways for jobs and for income, as opposed to leaning on things that exist now and that aren't really healthy for us, and we're wasting resources to keep those jobs, and it's unethical. We're keeping them, regardless of the situation. I just think that that's unhealthy, and that's going to drive us into the ground if we hold on to those things that are becoming more and more archaic and kind of useless. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as of right now, I mean, most of those jobs aren't going to go anywhere if we create pathways to citizenship, because we're still not just going to, it's not going to be, it's not like we're going to be kicking open the door and just being like, everybody come on over, because people care too much about, honestly, about not letting people in who should have every right to contribute.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. That was very insightful.
Thank you.
As part of the 4th of July celebrations in Brattleboro, GIV marched in the parade from the Brattleboro Union High School to the Brattleboro Town Common.
And now here's some footage from the parade.
Yes. Black, gay, straight or white, marriage is a civil right. Black, gay, straight or white, marriage is a civil right. Black, gay, straight or white, marriage is a civil right. See, looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Now over to Declan for the weather.
Oh, hi there. I'm Declan Burgess and I'm with GIVNN. So as you can see, it's sunny out, but for the past couple of days it's been sunny and with thunderstorms. This just in, thunderstorms for the next 3 days. Stop laughing.
Okay.
For now. Ready. Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon. This is GIVNN. Okay, sorry.
Lot of water.
But it was dope.
We had participants from all over the world.
This footage.
I need a bigger
Alright,
paper. I need a bigger paper.
I know, that's what I was looking for.
It's really fast.
You should just record it. I've been laughing because it's the funniest thing.
Declan, you're getting a little...
Give it to me, give it to me.
No,
Tessa, I can't let you.
I'm trying really hard not to laugh so hard that I go, there you go.
How are you gonna pick it up?
Tessa, the door.
Don't. I'm on the door.
I've never done this before. Oh!
Declan, you need me to do this? I think he does.
No, I got it. No, I got it.
This is hilarious.
Real fast, flip it. So he...
No!
Declan,
This is freaking me out. Oh no, we nearly got out that side.
No!
Tisha, why didn't you just do it? Hi Alex, you're on set right now. Where's
Don't worry about us.
Security! Security!
Don't actually. And we're going live in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Alex, can you turn around?
Come on.